is not like he's attractive, but his business is very unethical, in my opinion. He's a developer in real estate in South
Your
America.
audio's trailing off again, like you're backing up from the microphone.
Is it better?
Perfect.
Okay. So I was saying that the guy I'm talking to right now is a real estate developer, something like that, in South America.
Mm-hmm.
And so he's saying that he's wealthy. I
Okay.
don't really have proof that he is. And he's good looking, no problem.
Mm-hmm.
And I like him, but I don't want to fall in a controlling relationship based on his like financial like power. Like basically, I don't want to quit everything just to be a housewife, but at the same time, I would love to get the soft life. So, how should I navigate that?
What are you asking? Like, what's the issue here?
The issue is I don't have proof that he's that wealthy. He's telling me that he's a multimillionaire,
Mm-hmm.
and he would want me to like retire. He would want to retire me basically.
And you said that he's in South America.
He's a developer, like estate developer. Like my English is not my first language, but it's like
Okay.
he's building housing and hotels and properties and things like that in a country in South America.
So he's in South America, like physically.
He comes back and forth. I live in New York. I see him when he's in New York. He's like 5 days a month in New York, and the rest of the time is in this country. I don't want to say the country, but
Mm-hmm.
it's like a third world country.
Okay. How did you meet him?
I'm a stripper, and he comes to my club.
Okay. All right. So you were throwing ass, and then he came into the club.
Yeah.
And how did the conversation start? Like, how did?
So it's been 3 times, and basically, he don't even ask me to dance. He just gives me money, like a lot of money. I would make like 700 in like 30 minutes
Okay.
just talking. And we went on a date, like the dinner, and he paid me for my time,
Okay.
which I asked for. But basically, he would like me to just stop working.
Okay.
And I don't know if it's like a safe like decision, basically, like
Well, so if you were to stop working, what would be the next step?
getting in a relationship.
I mean, would you have? I mean, would you have to move to South America?
No.
Okay. So he wants you to stop working, and then he'll just cover your bills.
Yeah, basically I would have a place, and he would like want me to, but I don't want to lose everything and lose my own apartment and just have everything in his name, not knowing what his intentions are. I met him in January, so it's like 6 months.
Mm-hmm.
I only saw him 3 times because he's not in New York a lot.
You've only seen him 3 times since January.
First time I met him, it was in January. We kept in contact. He
Mm-hmm.
came back in June, and then he came back this month in July.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Okay. So since January, like, when did he make that proposition?
This month in July.
Okay. So in July, he told you that he would just pay for everything if you quit your job. Is that right?
Yeah, I can always go back to my job. Like, it's not like
Yeah.
if I accept his proposition, I can always go back to my job.
Gotcha.
It's not like,
Gotcha. Yeah, that was my next question. Is like, what's the downside? So you can always go back to your job. Would you have to? Would he pay your bills, or would he try to get like another place in his name?
he would get another place in his name.
Okay. I wouldn't do that.
Right? Because right now I have roommates, so when he said that, I was like okay with that because it's not in New York a lot. It would be here like a week in the month, so that would be I would have the apartment for myself instead of having roommate. So that's good, but at the same time, it's not my name on the lease.
Yeah, I wouldn't do anything where it's like your name isn't on it. That's when things will go south. I mean, this isn't a great situation to begin with because it's like, let's think about this. You're a pretty stripper, right? A lot of those, a lot of those out there. So is your goal just to get financial provisioning, or is your goal to get financial provisioning and have a genuine relationship?
The thing is with him, I'm physically attracted to him. He's good looking.
Mm-hmm.
He's not old, and but it's just like the fact that he has that much money. I don't know if I should just go for it or should I be
Again,
like
my question is, do you want to just be taken care of financially, or do you want to actually have a genuine relationship?
both?
Okay. Well, the genuine relationship is not going to come from this. That ain't coming from this at all. But you can
Why?
certainly get financial provision. I mean, think about it, love. What's special about this situation? You've seen him 3 times since January, so you don't really know this person because you've only seen him 3 times. 2, he lives in a completely different country, which is why you only seen him 3 times. And then 3, if he's doing this with you, he probably has other people that he's doing this with.
Yeah.
So if you just want to be taken care of financially, go for it. I wouldn't put yourself in a situation to where his name is on anything. No, that's silly. That's very vulnerable.
Since January, that's what I've been doing. But to be honest, I don't want to be a stripper for the rest of my life.
Right.
And I have a degree that I don't want to use because I worked 2 years with my degree. I don't like it. That's why I became a stripper. It makes way more money than the degree I worked for.
Right.
And basically, I'm doing good by myself being a dancer.
Mm-hmm.
But this man came to my life and it feels like it's like a good situation.
Yeah, if you want money, sure, it's a great situation. But again, you keeping your apartment and quitting your job, a job that you can always go back to, does not put you in a risky situation. You quitting your job and then getting into a place with his name can put you in a very risky situation because it's not easy to find housing. Like if you're in a situation to where like you need housing right now, like that's not easily solvable. There's a time element that comes with that. So you will be putting yourself in a very vulnerable position. So again, this doesn't map towards relationship. This maps toward you just being financially taken care of. And if you want that, fine. Just protect the downside, which is you don't position yourself to be in a situation to where you can just get kicked out of the place that you're calling home.
Yeah, like 6 months is not enough to risk it.
Right, right. And you actively being a stripper positions you to only attract certain type of men. So if you say that you don't want to be a stripper forever, the real problem is I would look for another way to take care of yourself. Even if you do ultimately want a man to take care of you, that's easier to accomplish with a regular job than it would be stripping. People aren't going to strip clubs looking for their wife. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So if you say, okay, I don't want to strip forever, and this man will, that'd be the good play. Is if you have this person take care of you and then like use that time to the freedom you have from not stripping to move into a different career
Right.
so that
So
you
I'm
can
using
take care of
basically.
yourself. I mean, you're already doing it. Like,
Yeah,
it's already what
because
you're doing,
it's
so you
it's a
might as well.
management. Like he's aware of
Yeah,
that.
just use it to your advantage, right? I'm sure he knows what he's getting himself into. Like,
Yeah,
he's aware. That's why he gave you that opportunity. So it's not like you're taking advantage of some simp. This is an attractive guy who has money. He has women. So this is just a transactional
yeah,
arrangement. So if you do quit your job, just go out and like try to find other means of employment. That's just the best position to put yourself in so that you can take care of yourself and then also be positioned to meet someone who you're in better alignment with, who you can actually have a genuine relationship with. Okay?
okay.
All right, dear. Keep me
Thank
posted on
you.
how it goes, all right?
Thank you.
Chad, was she pressure? I need someone to do some research. Ken, go check it out. Come back with a status report. Go look at the lay of the land. Hannah already said eh. Eh. Semi? That's unfortunate. If Knuckles saying she alright, I already know what that means. Knuckles be on it. Knuckles did research as soon as she popped up. By him not leaving tongue emojis in the chat tells me all I need to know. All right, what we got next? Omi says 50-50. Yo,
Yo, you good?
I'm good, man. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good, bro. I'm good.
Good. What can I do for you?
Pardon?
I said, what can I do for you?
Yeah, I just want advice, to be honest.
Okay, what's going on?
So, yeah, so right now, like, I just turned 18 in it. And, like, I'm in a relationship with this girl, right? We've been talking for about, I think, like 5-6 months now. We're dating now for 6 months, basically.
Okay.
And, like, I don't know how to explain this, but I wanna, like, obviously, I know I am a bit young, but I'm not really the type. Like, I'm just looking for a girl that I can, like, actually see myself have a future with. Like, I don't really want to, like, just go, like, because I'm going to university soon. I don't want to, like, go to university and start just talking to random girls, doing all of this, that, and the third. Like, I actually want a relationship with a girl and, like, thrive in that relationship and, you know, do something well in the future. But, I don't know if she's on the right track. And I do ask her, and she's like, yeah, I'm on the same page. But it's like, how do you know? Like, she doesn't really give off those signs that she's the same type, you get? So, I don't know, that's just how I'm feeling it.
Okay, so what's your question here?
So it's like, how do I know, like, how would I know if she's, like, on the same page as me or not? Like, how do I find that out?
When you say same page, what is it that you're referring to?
Of just actually being committing into, like, a long-term relationship and not just dating for the fun of it. Just for vibes, that's why.
Okay, so you want someone who's serious about commitment.
Yeah.
And you say you're dating someone right now. How long have y'all been dating?
6 months.
6 months. How'd you meet her?
My friend put me on to her, basically.
Gotcha. And how old are you two?
We're both 18. I mean,
Both.
she's 19, I'm 18.
18 and 19. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Getting it in young. Are y'all in a
That's what I'm
rel-
saying. Like, I know, like, I'm too young to be thinking like this, but I don't see myself, like, you know, like, I wasn't, obviously, when I met her, like, I wasn't thinking of dating, but I actually like her, you know, so I was like, why not? But at the same time, I don't see myself, like, just dating for fun. Do you get? Like, if I want to date you, like, I actually want to be with you.
I'm with you. There's nothing wrong with that. Hey, don't listen to people saying it's too early to. No. That's bad advice. Yeah, it's like in America we have this extended degree of adolescence where people think you're just supposed to be young into your 30s.
Yeah.
That's silly.
Yeah.
So, let's see. 6 months. Are y'all actually in a relationship now?
Yeah, but actually then, yeah.
Okay, so how long have y'all been in an actual relationship?
I think it's been like 4 months now. Yeah.
So 4 months. So y'all dated for 2 months, then y'all got into a relationship. Okay, so what makes you think that she's not serious?
Cause she just doesn't give off that signs. Like I don't know how to explain it. Like when for example, um, let's say I'm like, oh, like I want us to go out, but I don't really feel like, spending money. Like let's just say I just want to go out and chill sometimes. Like she'll say okay, but it's not like a, oh okay sure that's fine. It's like a, okay then, like like oh okay, well I guess like
So
okay fine.
what is she trying to do instead?
Like let's say if we go out, yeah, it's always a thing where like I'm always having to spend money, and I just don't want to. I just don't like. It's not every day. Like it's not every day. That's just the thing. Like I just want to, because it's that we've been going out consistently. There hasn't been a day where it's like, oh, let's just go get food and chill. We're always having to do like some sort of activity. So that's another thing. Like, I
Like
don't
what?
even
Give me
know
some examples of what she's intending to do when y'all go out.
So dates. I mean, dates are fine, but consistently it gets to a point. Dates. Just like going like to like a theme park, going to expensive hotels, stuff like that. The thing is, I don't mind doing it, but when you want it consistently, it's like, do you just want to go and just have fun?
Define consistently.
Like probably like 3 times like a month, something like that. 3-4 times a month.
So like
Outside of
once a
school
week.
as well. So it's like,
Once a week, she wants to do something like activity focused.
yeah.
Okay.
Not really like when we're both free, basically.
How frequently do you see her?
Yeah, probably like once a week, or sometimes once every 2 weeks.
Okay.
And in those times, that's when we're going out doing, fun activities and stuff like that.
Okay. So once a week, and she wants to. You said something about hotels. Are y'all traveling, or she just wants to stay in a hotel just to do it?
Yeah,
Yeah. What?
yeah, stay in a hotel just to, like, but it's like like those expensive hotels where it's like there's a swimming pool, there's like a sauna, just stuff like that, those type of things.
So she wants to stay in a hotel just to do it.
Yeah, basically. Yeah.
When you were in the dating phase, what kind of dates did y'all go on?
First, we just went to like a normal. It wasn't really like a proper date. Like when I first linked her, when I first met her, right, in person, we went out to like this place. I don't know if it's in America, but this place called Five Guys. Do you know it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So we just went there and we were just talking about life and stuff. Like we're just getting to know each other a bit more, because we did have calls prior to that, but still. Like, we just wanted to get to know each other a bit more, so we were just calling. I mean, we were just eating and talking. And then a bit after that, that's when we started to go on, like, cinema dates, stuff like that. Or sometimes I'll go to her house, sometimes she'll come to mine. And then, yeah. And then
Okay.
now, recently, that's when it's like she wants to do all the fun stuff.
Recently, within like how many? Like at what point did those type of requests start?
Probably like
How many months in?
after we started dating, because on the month where I asked her out, that's when I took her on like a really nice date to them. Like I just tried to do everything fancy, just a really nice date to say, oh, like I want to be your boyfriend and stuff like that. And then after that, that's when it was like a consistent thing where it's like, if we go out, like let's do this, let's do that, which is fine, but it's just like I don't have the capacity to do it all the time. Do you understand? That's literally it.
Gotcha. Okay. So
Yeah.
when you try to transition from just like dating her to being in a relationship, that's when you did something very fancy.
Yeah.
Okay. Did you do it?
Because I first,
I got you, bro. You don't have to keep it. Just try to answer like this specific question I'm asking. Okay.
Yeah.
So when you wanted to make her your girlfriend, that's when you pulled out the fancy dinner. Did you continue Did you continue doing fancy stuff after that without her asking for
it. No.
Okay.
Yeah, no. She was the one that was asking, oh, can we do this? Let's do this.
Okay. So after the fancy dinner, that's when she started asking for more like luxurious experiences.
Yeah.
Okay. And you would just say yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Have you started saying no?
No,
That's your
it's
problem.
not. No.
That's your problem. You should start. You should start saying no.
But the thing is, like, yeah, I think I should be saying no. But it's like, if I do say no, I don't want it to be a thing where I'll say no and then she'll start building up resentment, saying, "Oh, you don't want to take me anywhere." Da, da, da. I don't want that.
Yeah, I mean, but you can't help that, right? That's not to say you can't never do anything like that. It sounds like you're willing to. You just can't
Yeah.
keep up with the frequency.
Yeah.
So
I mean, my friends were telling me that, like, oh, like, nah, it's not every day, like, dates. Like, it's not every day that I should be taking her on dates, but I don't know. I just like doing it. And it's not a thing where it's like I'm the only one. Like, yeah, she's doing it as well.
she's
Like,
doing
sometimes
what?
she will take me out. Like, sometimes she would be taking me out because I'm not saying that, like, I'm the only one.
So she's taking you to these places as well.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay,
Sometimes
well
the
then you
majority.
don't have a problem for real then.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
if
that's what
she's
I'm saying.
taking you to these places and she's paying, yeah, that doesn't mean that you have to do it every single time. You know what I mean? Like keep saying yeah, but it's like you should be like clear about what your limitations are. Like you can't have y'all had any kind of like conflict in the relationship?
Nah, not like that.
Okay. Well, yeah, here's a lesson to learn. Don't get into a relationship until y'all have had some degree of conflict. Because you got to see how they respond. You want to know a person's ceiling and their floor. By that, I mean, when relationships are new, you're seeing their ceiling. You're seeing them on their best behavior. You're seeing their social mask. You're still in the honeymoon phase. But you also want to see them at their floor, meaning them when they're unhappy with you. That doesn't mean that you artificially create that. No. But oftentimes when there's some degree of conflict, I don't mean like shouting matches or calling names and disrespecting one another.
Yeah.
I mean something like you saying no or you bringing up something that's an issue for you in a respectable manner, right? That's when you get to see their floor a little bit. You get to see how willing they are to repair, like how willing they are to solve the problem instead of making you the problem, and how they treat you when they're probably upset or dissatisfied. You want to see that. So far, you've just been a yes man this entire time. Doesn't mean there's an issue with her because she doesn't have any contest. From her perspective, you're just saying yes to everything. And then she's also taking you out. So on her end, she has no idea of what you're asking for, right? Like or what your situation is. So it doesn't sound like you're in this bad situation. It's one of your own making because you're abandoning yourself to keep another person happy or to appease them. Don't do that. You got to stay connected to yourself while also being connected to the other person. Right now, you're abandoning yourself in order to appease her and kind of harboring resentment on your end a little bit because you're even thinking about like potentially not being with this person when they haven't done anything wrong. She's not done anything wrong in the situation, period.
Yeah, that is true.
Nothing
That's
wrong.
why that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know how to like approach it. Like, my friends were telling me that I should just tell her like straight off the bat, but
Yeah, the longer you
I
wait,
just
the more of an issue it's going to be.
yeah.
You just gotta be like,
So
yeah, I can't afford all that kind of stuff, right? I'm still gonna take you out nicely, but I can't. Honestly, I can't like
yeah,
keep pace with this,
yeah,
you know. And then you'll see.
yeah.
Then you'll see how she responds. Based on how you're describing her, she may be okay with that.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't want it to be a thing where I will say no once and then after that she'll start getting the idea that like, you know, that I don't have the capability to do it at all. Do you get? Because I don't want.
Well,
I don't really,
that's all in communication. Like, yeah, we can do these things sometimes, but I can't do it. I can't keep pace with this. So yeah, that's just a communication problem. You communicate that's fine
But
with you.
has there been a time where you've ever said like no to going out?
My
And
favorite. That's
if
my
she did, how
favorite.
did she
That's
react?
my favorite word. Keeps my teeth white. I love telling people no. I have no problem with it. Like I don't abandon myself in these situations. If it's something I don't agree with, I'm not doing that. I'm okay. Yeah, you have to do that. That's part of a relationship.
How did she react? Like, what did she do? Like, how was it a thing where like she kept that in her brain longer, or like she built resentment over that? The fact
But
that you said
you're
that.
trying to, here's the problem that you're facing. You're trying to control her reaction because you're trying to keep her engaged in the relationship. You're thinking about it the wrong way.
Yeah,
You know if somebody is compatible with you and right for you when they can handle the no. You're saying like, how can I tell her no and then keep her in the relationship? No. The no gives you the data you need to determine whether or not y'all are the right fit.
yeah.
So if you do tell her no and then she gets mad about that and then doesn't want to be with you, that's just a sign y'all weren't the right fit.
Okay. So you're saying if she does react in a certain way, where it's like kind of negative, I guess.
Not necessarily like she might be disappointed in that, but like
Yeah.
is it it's okay because she sounds like she likes doing those things. So I'm not saying that if she's
Yeah.
disappointed that's a problem. But if she starts treating you different or being passive aggressive or not respecting your no and then trying to convince you to do it anyway or manipulate you into doing it, then yeah, that's the wrong person to be with.
Okay, that's fine. Then.
Okay?
Yeah. So so let's say because soon I'm like we're gonna go on a date before I go to university, right? So how would I approach it where I want to say no? Because I've already said yes to it. But let's say if there's another date coming up that she wants to go to, how would I approach it to say no? Do I just say straight up, I don't really have the time to be doing it? Or like what do
No,
I say?
where you're at, it deserves a conversation. It doesn't need to be like just a no and leave it at that. That would have worked if it was like, a newer situation. But
Okay.
yeah, this would just be like, listen, I know we've been doing these fancy things. I want to keep doing those things with you, but I honestly can't do this much of it.
Okay.
It's just draining my pockets. So I want to let you know that, so you're not like surprised.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. All right.
All right.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
All right, brother.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah.
No problem. But I want you to understand the deeper issue here is you're afraid of losing this person. You don't want to disappoint them because you're afraid of losing them. You got to solve that problem. You got to be okay with disappointing people.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, okay.
All right. Keep me posted on how it goes, all right?
All right. Thank you.
All right. Yo.
Yo, what's up? Hold on 1 second. I do mobile detailing. I'm my own business. I'm detailing right now. I'm gonna hop in my car real quick just so that way I can get you guys around down here.
Okay.
Give me 1 second.
Uh-huh.
But no, I'm 19. I dated this girl basically from the summer going in my sophomore year to like 2 weeks ago, right?
Uh-huh.
I've known this girl since we were younger. Went to elementary together. We were friends like in middle school, all that good stuff. And then freshman year, that's when we had a class together. Boom, that's how we started dating. Anyways, so she was the one to call this. We went to her cabin and stuff like for the 4th. Like everything was good, I swear. And we were there 5 days. Get back, I detail all day the next day. And then, boom, the next day rolls around, and then she's like, you want to just go get some ice cream? Like, late at night, like, they're about to close. I'm like, something's got to be up, right? So, boom, she basically was like, yeah, I think we should be like, we should be done and whatnot. And beforehand, like, she told me, like, we always, like, had, not, like, fights, like, just many, like, disagreements type of stuff, and she said that she felt like it had just built up and like she had tried to push everything to the side. But like I just felt like I got blindsided, like, you know what I'm saying, almost, because like everything was good at her camper. Like she was sending me like all these TikToks. Everything was normal. We would hang out every other day just about, because we live like 10 minutes away from each other, right? Like literally best friends. Like obviously you grow with them as you get older, right? Like I don't know, it just feels like I got blindsided almost. It's been 2 weeks. I mean, I detail like I was saying, and she got a new car. So I bought a coating for her seats, and I'm supposed to apply it on Wednesday. So, like, I don't know. I'm just kind of, like, questioning myself. Like, should I even go? Like, what do you think? I don't know.
I'm
If you
confused.
got questions for me, like I can
What
answer.
was the problem again?
Yeah, so basically she said like too much bickering. That's exactly what she said, like bickering. But they weren't like fights. It would be just like many like I would say something and I'd be like, dude, come on, like just take a joke for once. Or let's say I'm driving, I'm like trying to switch my song or something on the phone. Like I'd go on my phone real quick to switch it. Like she was trying to like she would ask me to get off my phone. Like sometimes I would listen, but obviously like some other times I wouldn't listen, you know? Like I'm not gonna disagree on that. But like that big of a reason to just like not try anymore, you know what I'm saying? But like I honestly I can't control her, so you know, like if she, like I get it, but it just leaves me in this like
So
I
she
question
so
myself,
she
like,
ended things because she said it was too much bickering.
yeah, basically
Okay, how long have y'all been together?
4 years coming up. We've been officially together just about 4 years, and then we talked like a lot every single day for 3 months before we started dating.
Okay.
So like,
And how did y'all meet again?
I've known her forever. So we went to school together. So I'm from a small town. So just from middle school, we were friends. I got the client coming up to me. Give me 1 second.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna mute myself. I'm mute real quick.
Gotcha. 4 years off bickering. Something's afoot.
I know, that's what I'm saying, right? And like,
So the bickering that
be
you're
honest, like-
referencing, hold on. The bickering that you're referencing has been present for the entire 4 years?
to be honest, not really. Like, she had brought up like she brought this up a few months ago, and like I said, like she had brought it up a few months ago, and I just feel like she never really checked back in on it. Like I felt like I was giving more effort than she was putting in. Now that I'm looking back at it,
When you say she brought it up a few months ago, what did she say? I can't hear you if you're talking.
that's my car. You can hear me,
I can hear you now.
right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So she said back like that we didn't have like fights. We just had these little disagreements and whatnot. But like she just brought it up and she never really mentioned anything about it. Like I thought everything was good. Everything
What
was
did
normal.
what did she say? If you remember.
She said that like we have these little like disagreements that aren't fights, and she just like small things ticked her off. Basically, is pretty much the. I don't know. I don't really like get it. You know.
Do you remember what she said, how she phrased it?
I don't remember exactly how she phrased it, but that's pretty much the point that got across there.
Okay. So she said that we don't fight, but we bicker. Small things were getting on her nerves.
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly.
And she brought it up a few months ago?
Yeah, a few months ago, and even like some small weird things. To be honest, like let's say like I'm into colognes, right? So like I'd get this new cologne, like, and she like smell it, and like I'd say it's like some little cheap one, and then like some cheap Arabian cologne. She'd say it smells good, but then once I tell her like it's a Louis Vuitton cologne or something like that, she'd be like, oh, like you know, like she would call me like materialistic and all this stuff, but I'm really not too materialistic. But I don't know.
Okay.
Find
Okay.
like these small things.
Hold on. Just try to answer the specific question that I'm asking you. So you said that y'all weren't bickering throughout the 4 years.
No, not throughout the 4 years. Like everything was good.
When did y'all start
Like
bickering?
we see. Well, this got brought up in like March. So like spring break, I went to Arizona, and then I came back, and then like it was before I came back or right after I came back. And no, it was not Hawass to whoever's in the comments.
So y'all didn't start bickering until March of this year.
Well, yeah, like never really. Obviously, like you have your disagreements here and there, but it was never really like anything crazy though. Until like, I feel like it got more constant when I came back or whenever it was in March.
Okay. So who's starting the bickering?
That's the thing. She told me like she would this was after like she said we should be done. She said that she just like found these little things that I would like do or say or not listen like on the first time, for example, on the phone and stuff, to get like ticked off at me. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. So you were doing and living the exact same way for the first 3 years of the relationship, and then she just started complaining year 4?
Well, I mean, we were like good. We've been good pretty much the entire relationship.
I hear you, brother. Just try to answer the specific question. So
Yeah.
were
Like
you living
say that
the
question again.
were you living the exact same way the first 3 years, and then she just started bickering and having an issue with the way you just lived year 4?
Yeah, pretty much. Like these things, like yeah, pretty much. Like it was the same throughout. I feel like you said, I feel like it was like some small things here and there happened throughout. So yeah, I'd say yes to
Okay.
your question.
Okay. So you had like normal conflict like any other relationship the first 3 years. And then
Exactly, right?
year 4,
Yeah, so
that's
normal,
it
pretty much.
it escalated year 4 where there was just more bickering going on but it's based on the complaints that she was making.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
That's right.
So
And the thing about this is like,
go ahead.
no, I was just gonna say like it's hard because like I was at her house like pretty much like I was saying we saw each other every other day just about like her parents love me and stuff and I was there after like she like called it off or whatever like after she said we should be done, which we're done now or whatever. Like I was detailing for her uncle and I did it at their house because they have more space in like their garage and stuff.
Okay,
And, like, her
it's
mom
not
and
this
parents,
isn't
they
this
are
isn't
big.
well, this isn't necessary. That's why I was saying just answer the question I'm asking. I don't need all those
Yeah.
details.
Okay, yeah.
I'm trying the questions I'm asking you are the only important details that I need. So, you do detailing, so that means like you travel for work to a degree?
Yeah, I'm mobile. Yeah, I have my own mobile.
Okay, so
trailer,
y'all spend a lot of
trailer.
time apart.
Not honestly, not really. Like I'll get done with the day, and then I would go to her house, like right after, like
Okay.
shower there and stuff, like everything at her house. Like, her parents were cool with it. Like, I would make time, like every other day, like I said.
Okay. Okay. What does she do for work?
She works at a cafe on the weekends, and she just started working at TJ Maxx.
Gotcha. And how old are you
She
two?
used to. I'm 19. She's 19 as well.
19 and 19. How long ago did she start working at TJ Maxx?
Literally. So you know how I told you about the 4th of July? We were there 5 days at her camper, and then 2 days after, or not 2 days, the day before we broke up, she started. So
Okay.
on Tuesday, which would have been like
Okay.
7th.
It sounds like she just wanted to break up for whatever reason, brother.
Yeah, I know, but like that's the thing. It's just so. It seems so. I don't know. Like there's got to be something else to this. It feels like it, at least.
There might be. She could have met somebody.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie though. When I was there at her crib, I snatched that phone. I was looking through it. Like I got pretty deep in there. I just couldn't find anything. So I don't know. But I guess I'll never know.
Yeah, you was not
And
just
I'm gonna
watching.
be seeing her on Wednesday.
For what?
So like I mentioned, I detailed she got a new car, and I had ordered a leather coating.
Okay.
And I'm gonna apply it. At least that's what we're on. So
Gotcha. So, because
I'm
like,
here, and then I leave to.
like when I hear you say that you have just been living this way the entire time, and then she randomly just started bickering, that's somebody who's trying to leave the relationship and find a justification as to why they should.
Yeah, that's kind of what I felt like. She was just trying to find a little reason to.
Yes. Now we don't know why she was trying to find a little reason to, right? I don't have enough data there, but I can tell you that the reason that she gave is not the reason.
Someone asked if ever cheated. No, no, nothing like that.
Right. Yeah. If you tell me that you've always been doing this, there was nothing that changed on your end, and she was cool with it before, now she's magically complaining. Like relationships tend to not end off a little bickering, especially when you have years invested.
Yeah.
You got years invested into it, then it's
Exactly.
like, okay, then more than likely, she was just always preparing herself. Like she was trying to look for some degree of an exit to get out of the situation.
Ivy, someone said I took her, or just snatched her phone. There was more to it. I was talking to her in her room actually because I was using the bathroom. Like like, if I see her in person, like obviously I'm still gonna talk to her, right? So I was talking to her, and she had went upstairs to let her dogs out, and it was just right there in my face. So like, why would I not? Right there in the moment.
Okay.
It was just.
Okay. Well, yeah. So I would like kind of wash your hands of the situation. I mean, if you want to detail the whip, I mean, you can if it was already a pre-planned thing, but I would 100%
Yeah,
just
no,
let go of this situation
it
for
had
sure.
been planned. Yeah. Do
Yeah.
I want her back? I mean, like, for years, and you just give up like that. If you just want to be done, like, it's cool, but I don't know. I
Right.
don't know if I want her back. Like I said, I don't know. I mean, I've just been thinking, like, maybe I did put in more effort than she was given.
Right.
So maybe, I don't know, maybe I'd be better off.
Right. Yes, go ahead and just wash your hands of the situation, brother. I know it's rough because, I mean, 4 years is significant, but sometimes things go this way, all right? But you're 19, man. You'll find somebody else. Okay?
She paid for the coding, by the way. Like, I'm just applying it. So that, like, I could send her the money and just keep it and apply on someone else's card, but, like, she already.
It's not that big a deal.
But, like, no, I usually, someone said that in the comments, so I was just fine.
I got you. Well, all right, brother. Keep me posted on how it goes, man. You take care.
Yeah. Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah, I appreciate it.
Lindsay, why you say we don't care? Hello.
Hi.
Hey, how you doing?
Good, how are you?
Good. What can I do for you?
Okay, so I'm having a little bit of trouble in my relationship with, I guess, I put a lot of negativity out into the relationship, if that makes sense. Like, it's hard for me to think of a positive. Like, if he doesn't answer the phone, my mind automatically goes negative. And, like, it's kind of hard for me to stop. And I don't know if it's like, sometimes people be like, okay, maybe that's just not your person, or like that's why you're doing it, or you can't stop overthinking and stuff like that. And yesterday he told me that I hurt his feelings like really bad by doing like little stuff that are basically toxic traits. And I'm trying to unlearn them, but it's hard. Like I don't understand. Like, should I just leave it? We've only been together like 2 months. So it hasn't been long, but it's also like I do love him, but I don't know how to stop it. So do you have any like advice for that?
Okay. So how did you meet this person?
We met basically through Instagram one day. He just texted me and we started talking after that.
Okay, so you met on Instagram, you started talking, and then what's the issue going on? Like, what is the issue on your end?
He's very like patient with me, and I really think I'm more so the issue. Like, I don't know how to stop sabotaging it. Basically, if that's a better way to put it. And it's hard for me to see it a lot of the times from his point of view. Because it's like I'm only thinking in mine, or I can't, like, sometimes in my head it's like I just don't think, like, he could do so much and I'll be like, oh, he don't care.
Okay.
And it's like that hurts him. But I just want to know, like, are there any tips to, like, getting over that? Because he did tell me recently that I hurt his feelings, and this is getting very tiring for him.
Okay. How did you hurt his feelings?
Because he hates, like, when I'll post little subliminal posts. Sometimes I relate to them, and sometimes, like, he'll think there's a shot at him. Most of the time I relate to him, so it's not a shot at him. Or he'll see it. And I used to do it because I wanted him to, like, I wanted to get his attention. And he hates that because he feels as if I'm letting other people know that there's something going on. So there's a access that men can get in from his point of view.
Okay. So what is the trigger? Like, what, before you engage in those type of behaviors, like, what is the thing that kind of sets you off, that gets you kind of anxious?
I think it's just when he goes quiet too long.
Okay. So what do you mean by going quiet too long? How long is he going quiet?
Like, he doesn't ignore me or nothing. It's just, I've recently figured that I don't have emotional permanence. So it's harder for me to believe that once I'm gone, somebody still thinks of me.
Okay.
Like, in that way.
So how much time passed passes before you start feeling like that?
I give it maybe like an hour or two. When we're together, it's perfectly like okay, like it's perfectly fine.
Right. So if you don't hear from him in an hour or two, does that mean like he
Yeah.
doesn't respond in an hour or two, or you just haven't heard from him in an hour or two?
Um, both.
Okay.
I say both.
Okay.
Like I know I'm young, so I know it's probably a lot to do with anxious attachment and stuff like that.
Right.
So I don't want to keep like, cause last night he really like got on me and he was like, "You have to fix it. Like I'm not gonna leave you, but you have to fix it because it's not gonna help us be better." And I understand that because I do want to be better. Like he's
Right.
changed his ways, so I do want to be better, but it's just so hard
Right.
to me. It seems like
So you said how old are you two?
I'm 28. Yeah, he's 22.
20 and
We're both
22.
20.
Okay. What does your day to day look like? Like, how do you feel your time?
I go to work most of the day, come home, take care of my cat, and then if I see him, I'll see him. But if not, I'll just be in the house.
Okay. Well, that's part of the problem. You don't have a life. You gotta get a life, right? Not like disrespectfully. I just mean you have to have something to kind of fill your time. Because I bet when you are triggered, it's when you're bored
Yeah.
and you have nothing to do.
He says I like to start, like, if it's too long, I'll start up an argument.
Uh-huh. Yeah, because you start up an argument so that you feel that he cares if he argues with you.
Yeah.
Right. So you have to start building a life because right now you're depending upon him to add meaning to your life and to give you some degree of validation when you should be doing that for yourself. So that's the first step. You got to have a life. You have to have certain hobbies or things you engage into. You have to have other people that you talk to, not romantically, but like friends and people of that nature. You have to fill your time up. Having all this empty time is just going to make it so you start storytelling in your head because he probably has a life. Like, what does he do?
Well, does he have like? He don't got no life either.
What does he do? How's he feel
Like
his time?
he's rebuilding back up his life because basically when we met, he had went to jail for like a week in between that.
Okay.
So we had paused on it. So like right now he's getting his life back on track. Like he's getting his ID. He actually just started a new job today.
Okay.
So it's like, but other than that, he plays the game or watches YouTube.
Right. So, but he's doing. What happened? Oh, she got disconnected. Thought one of the mods took her down. Well, I mean, they're 2022, that's not surprising. But you gotta have a life, man. When you got anxious attachment like that, you can't afford have all this downtime. What they say, the idle mind is the devil's playground. You just can't. You can't do it. You can't do it. Let me bring her back up. So yeah, it sounds like
Sorry.
you're good. It sounds like he's playing the game and stuff like that. So he ain't really focused on being connected to you 24/7. So the first step is you have to have a life going on. Second thing though is whenever you feel that anxiety come up, you look at that as a sign that whatever you're going to do or say is going to be the wrong thing.
Okay.
So you shouldn't take an action or try to communicate anything when you are feeling that anxiety, right? I liken it to possession. It feels like you're possessed a little bit. Because oftentimes after you do or say the thing is telling you to do or say, you end up regretting it, right? Like, I shouldn't have said that. I shouldn't have done that, okay? So you have to just look at that anxiety as a sign that you should not do anything right now. If you want to do something after the anxiety passes, or if you want to say something after the anxiety passes, that's fine. But normally the way it works is once the anxiety passes, you're not going to want to do or say anything. You know?
Yeah.
The other
I've done
thing,
it like once and it passed and I felt fine after.
exactly. So look at that. You felt fine after. So that's what you should do moving forward.
Okay.
Just you make it worse when you act from that place. So just make a rule right now. If I feel this way, I cannot communicate with him. I cannot do anything it's telling me to do. Just doing that will reduce this problem by like 50%.
Okay.
The second thing is when you get in storytelling mode, and so the first thing is build a life, make friends, find hobbies, find ways to keep yourself busy. The second thing is don't ever act from the place of anxiety. The third thing is when you start getting into storytelling mode, right? Look for what is called disconfirming evidence. What anxiously attached people tend to do is whatever the most recent, they look at the most recent thing that has occurred and they let that color the entire relationship. It's called recency bias. So in other words, you could have had a good 2 weeks with this person, but if today something happens, now you think the entire relationship is flawed, right?
Yeah.
So what you want to do in that situation is to zoom out and look for what is called disconfirming evidence. That just means you look for evidence that contradicts whatever story you're telling yourself. So let's say you haven't heard from him in a few hours and you're like, he doesn't care about me. So well, let's question that. Let's zoom out. Let me look for evidence that he does. Okay, well, he did talk to me for hours the other night. Well, he did take me to this place. Well, he did buy me flowers that time. Well, he did introduce me to, his mom. Okay, well, he obviously cares about you then. You have to remind yourself of the evidence that already exists that contradicts the story. That'll help you a lot, okay?
Okay.
All right, dear. Well, keep me
Thank
posted
you.
on how it goes, all right?
Okay, thank you so much.
No problem, dear. Best of luck to you.
Thank you. Have a good day.
You too. Love to see the young people reaching out seeking a bit of guidance, though. Because a lot of people who have these issues, maybe 30s, 40s, they'll be like, no, he's supposed to talk to me that much because that's what he's supposed to do because that's what my needs are. And I need reassurance. And I need. Nah, you have the problem. Fix it. OG, what's happening?
What's going on, P?
I'm chilling, man. I'm chilling. What you got going on?
Mine ain't nothing much. I ain't want too much. I just enjoy, picking up the guy that you drop on me and others. Something that I've noticed, and I just wanted to hear what you had to say on it. It can be brief. Is that, and I think we've spoken on this before. It seems like the more work that you do, the less likely that you meet people who have the capacity to receive or appreciate you. And that is very, very frustrating for me, and not just with relationships, but friendships as well. And I know there's more work that needs to be done on me. I understand it, so that's a given. Much more work that needs to be done, but it's just very hard to find people who are free thinkers, independent thinkers, and are doing the work on themselves. I'm just
Now,
gonna
when you
be
say-
honest, spiritually, and when I say spiritually, not to a point where we get into hocus pocus. Everybody have different beliefs, but to the point where you can properly receive somebody in their imperfections, but also see the truth and grow as a person. All right. What do you have to say in response to that? Because it's isolating. I want to know how you feel about that.
When you say the more work that you do, are you meaning that the work that you do on yourself?
Right. As a person. You
Okay.
know what I'm saying? It just seems like it's hard to find people who have that same level of maturity, especially when it comes to dating and things of that nature. Like, I can have a casual situation with somebody and even love them, but meeting somebody to the point where, okay, I want to be with you and only you because you have the capacity to receive me on a deeper level, I think that's hard to find. I think it affects compatibility long term too. I just wanted to know what you had to say about that. I didn't really have much for you. I just wanted to know what you
No,
had to
it's
say.
a good question. I've made content on this many times. It's just how it works, man. Water seeks its own level, So the more work you do into yourself, you fundamentally reduce the dating pool. It's just how it is. The people who are lower vibrational tend to have the most options because most people are like that.
Exactly, and if you look at my page, that's what my content is about, and I'm not just talking, man. I've been doing this for years.
I believe it.
And some of us naturally are more loving people, which makes your vibration higher. So the more work that you do and the more life humbles you, you vibrate even higher. And so most people are operating from a place of ego, and you're trying to have these discussions with them, and they just cannot receive you. Like, it's just really hard, man. Like I said, I saw a video that you made that dialed in on that, man. It's just really hard, man. So something that you said that I really appreciate to the young lady that was just up here. Um, Having your own hobbies and your own life is really, really important, man, because during that downtime, you're gonna fiend for that companionship and connection. But and I hate to get put a title on it because I feel like that's kind of ego. It can be ego too, to say, well, I vibrate high, you're low vibrational, even though we know that's what it is, right? It's just hard, man. It's really,
It's very
really hard.
difficult. It's very
Yeah,
difficult.
So and this is the thing too, people understand how you make them feel. They don't understand the depths of your character. Like I can deal with a woman, and I don't really typically get in relationships, not because I don't want to, but because the average person is working from manipulation, not building connection. It's control, not connection. Control over their image, control over the situation, not genuine connection, meaning I can meet you where you are, but keep it real with me. Most people are not gonna do that. So, man, it's just it's
I'll tell you what makes matters worse is because one, you reduce the options, but then two, not really reduce the options. Well, yeah, you do reduce the options to a degree, but then two, you start to attract people who can be a bit lower vibrational. So the way it works is you'll attract people to you who are attracted to your light, which is being cultivated, and they may have the desire to grow but lack the capacity to do so. So you'll attract like people who are lower vibrational, who desire to do better, but they aren't doing better because they lack the capacity, and then they'll sabotage the connection.
Exactly, and this is another thing as well. So, and I know you can speak on it because you have the experience. You're not just talking. For anybody that watches this guy, if you have any experience, you know he's not lying. So this is another thing that happens, right? We live in a casual society that we don't want to accept, right? That's what things have become, right? We don't see those old school relationships as much as we used to, But now because you lack the capacity to receive me, I cannot trust you to be monogamous with you. So now you got a lot of women who are kind of downplaying you because you have multiple connections where I can maintain these connections because I can meet them where they are. They don't mean that they can meet me enough to where I can feel secure enough in saying, this is the person that I want to be with. She's the only one that I'm going to be with. I'm not going to deal with nobody else. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's tough, man. And a lot of people don't understand it.
Yeah, no, I'm with you, and I think the only reason why you're able to maintain it is because you're the one holding out. So if you were to flip it and then like you try to make it work, they would just sabotage the connection.
Exactly.
So the lack of permanence is what's actually keeping them in the connection to begin with.
Right. They don't have the capacity, and it's man, it's really tough because I can meet you where you are, right? But when it's time to hold you accountable, see, because people want control. When you're not doing any type of work on your character, I would rather have control over you because I can't do enough within myself to maintain anything healthy. And that is something that is not talked about enough. Now, there are very few of us who share this perspective, but it's a real thing, man, and it's hard, man. Like narcissism is very prevalent now, and we don't even have to go as far as to say that. But those who are low vibrational, most of the dating pool is full of low vibrational thinkers, manipulative thinkers who want control because they don't know how to really nurture a healthy connection, man, and it's tough. So, what advice would you give me as somebody who's dealing with it?
You have to be more intentional about where you place yourself, and because it's a double-edged sword, right? Because here's what's also going on sometimes. I'm not saying you're in this situation, but this is another way it can play out. The more developed person wants to be the more developed person. So they unconsciously seek out people who are less developed so that they can play the position of like the teacher or the more developed one in the relationship. For ego reasons. It's the identity that they crafted. So if they were to come across somebody on their level or higher, they probably would sabotage that. Right? So you got to make sure that's not what's going on either. Because whenever there is a pattern at play, normally it is the parties are co-creating that experience to a degree, right? Like, let's say you find a woman who's read more books, who's been on the path longer, who, when you tell her something, it impresses the other women you talk to, but to her, it's like, doesn't really land. You know, she's been there, done that. And maybe she's the one with all the insight or most of the insight, right? And you can flip the genders as well. There are women who fit into that position too. So you may not like that too much because it doesn't fit the role that you think you are supposed to play in the experience. I've never said that before, but that is another way that this plays out. The way that you can test that, though, is you just put yourself in environments where you will naturally come across other people who are at that level to a degree. So remember, we always talk about static environments. So there's hobbies. I know when I was joining groups in Raleigh, you know, it was a group called like the Creative Intellectuals, terrible name. But they used to have like debates. They used to have different themed get-togethers that was like covering different intellectual matters, different personal development type things, right? I would go to stuff like that, be intellectually stimulated. There's other things you can do, such as going to conferences. You may find a lot of people like this at conferences, maybe personal development conferences, maybe book signings for like personal development things that align with what you like to read, you know? So you just got to put yourself in environments where those type of people will be. And that will give you a bit more data as to what's going on. So let's say if you put yourself in those environments and you come across women who are a bit more developed and maybe even exceeding your level, what is your experience of them? Is it like you're turned off? Okay, well then this might be at play, you know? So it's just going to be a positioning issue. A lot of this stuff is positioning, especially once you, like before, the first problem is just developing yourself. So it's getting yourself up to a high enough level. But then once you've done that, it's just a positioning problem. It's like, okay, you're just not coming across enough people who kind of, you know, are playing the game at that higher level. And that's going to require a bit more intention.
I definitely respect it, you know, and it's hard to receive a little bit just because I'm not a person who dive off of ego. Mm-hmm. It's more so intention, right? So where the issue comes in, it is not where you're intellectually. The issue comes in where you're being controlling and manipulative and you're lying. That in itself is low vibrational behavior. You know what I'm saying? And even when it comes to feeling the need to feel better than somebody, I'm not doing it. I'm never doing it. I'm meeting you where you are because I really naturally just enjoy connection in general. So I'm not ego tripping or nothing like it. It's just a lot of the time people don't leave enough room for a genuine connection to build because people feel a need for control and to lie and to manipulate. But at the same time, too,
that's going to be a vetting issue, bro, because I don't go through that. You know what I mean? Like, I don't even, none of the women that I've dated, I can say were like super manipulative or anything like that, or lie to a degree where I'm picking up on, I genuinely, I can't tell you that's what I'm seeing. So that might be an environmental issue for you.
Right, you gotta remember, I'm from Memphis, bro. So like, I'm from a different culture. So there's another reason why, you know, it is different for me because I'm from a totally different culture. Where you go, like, for example, if you go to Chicago, if you're not in the hood, you're not surrounded by gangsters. Right. When you go to the suburbs in Memphis, you're surrounded by gangsters. Right. Our women are gangsters. Look at Glorilla, the reason why she's saying the quiet part out loud, and our women are living that type of lifestyle. So because
that's going to be the main issue here. Then, like, you might have to, you might got to move, man.
Like you said, position. I heard you on it.
Yeah, it's 100% going to be positioned. There's been some other people in this live too, where it's like where they live is a contributing factor as to what's like. I just don't like in your situation. I 100% believe that is a big issue, but a lot of people, like, no matter where they are in the U.S., they'll think their city or their state is the problem. Sometimes it's true, sometimes it's not. But you'll hear people in North Carolina be like, North Carolina women are just, or North Carolina men are blah, blah, blah. It's like, nah, it's not. No, that's not it. That's probably who you're choosing. But to your point, I do think that your location is a contributing factor for sure.
Oh yeah, most definitely. Like, my mom is from the most impoverished neighborhood in America. You see what I'm saying? So my culture, like I said, the culture that I come from is totally different. But I receive everything you're saying. I think positioning does have a lot to do with it. And I'm definitely open to somebody knowing more. Iron sharpens iron, literally. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? So, when you have those type of connections, they literally, you feed off of each other. But I receive everything you're saying, man, and I appreciate you giving me your insight.
Absolutely, brother. Keep me posted on how it goes, all right, man?
For sure.
All right, Chief. I like when OG calls in, man. Why y'all be tripping in the chat when OG calls in? I like when he calls in. I enjoy the discussion. I like anyone who pulls something like new out of me that I haven't said before. Go to a big metro area. Yeah, for sure. Sometimes that also can be like dating women off of aesthetics alone. That's also a big problem. Like sometimes your aesthetic type is probably like if you're trying to get like Instagram models, for example. Not that they're all the same, but there's probably a lot of similarities. Between them. So that's another thing to consider. Okay, who we got next? Let's try this one. Hello.
Hello.
Hey, how are you?
Yeah, I'm okay, thanks. I was just listening to the other gentleman who was talking about him not finding a connection with somebody. But I also think it's, as you said, working on yourself. There's nothing wrong with that. But also, he said he's willing to meet somebody at any level. You can't meet everybody at the level that you're at. You have to meet somebody.
All right. The Moz removed you, love, because they only want people requesting who have questions. So, yeah. And they're doing it to protect you because the chat will get on your ass if you ain't got if you ain't got a question. The chat will get on you. Lindsay was already starting, so they just don't want you getting dog piled on, Hello.
Hi, can you hear me?
I can. How are you?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Great. Thanks for asking. What can I do for you?
So, I honestly just want to know the mind of a guy. Are all guys kind of like unfaithful, or do they just want multiple girls in a relationship?
How old are you?
I'm 23.
Okay. Have you recently gone through an experience like that?
Well, right now I'm in a relationship, and it's great, and I love how honest my boyfriend is and everything.
Okay.
And sometimes he'll have that mindset. I can't tell I know he jokes, but sometimes I'm like, is he really serious? Where it's like, if he could, he would want me and like potentially to be able to have it be like a one-sided open relationship. And like, that's not really going to work for me. And he says like guys will be guys and everything, but I just wonder because I don't have any brothers or like guy cousins, and like I can't ask my dad or anything. And I'm like, is that really how all guys think? I'm just genuinely curious.
How old's your boyfriend?
He's 25.
How did y'all meet?
We met in college.
Okay.
We've been together for 5 years.
Cool. So 5 years. And he's said that he wanted to have like a one-sided open relationship?
Well, sometimes he said it would be nice for him to have that, and I say the same thing every time because we always I like that we have a very open communication. I just say you can feel free to do that. That's on you, and you can do whatever you want. I just won't be part of that.
When did he say that?
What'd you say?
When did he say that? How long ago?
He says it often. Like, it's very much jokingly, but sometimes there's truth to the joke.
Yeah, it's not joking. He's serious.
I make it clear from the, like, even when we first got together, I was like, I don't date to date. If I'm dating you, it's with intention, and I date to marry. So if that's something that you want and this isn't going to work for you, let me know, because we're just wasting each other's time here.
Right. No, not all guys are like that. What we're seeing is a lot of people changing their perspective off of social media.
Yeah.
Social media spreads ideas, and a lot of people don't have a value system that they're anchored to. And they're most susceptible to the ideas being spread if it seems to serve them in some way. So you'll see, like, just by you saying that he referenced having a one-sided open relationship, that's a social media thing. He heard a red pill guy say that in the video. And he's like, huh. And maybe frame it as like the best of the best men get that. So now it's a measuring stick of how he falls amongst other men.
Oh, that's exactly what it is. He mentions that it has to do with, it's a status thing and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, if you want to have that lifestyle, that works for you perfectly fine. That's just not something that's going to work for me.
Mm-hmm.
But he does also make it clear he's like, after me, he's probably not going to get another relationship. And if he did, it would be like an open-sided relationship. So he says, but like I say, like him and
are you a Christian?
I am, yeah, and he is as well.
Okay.
And honestly, it's actually kind of funny you mention that, because when I think of the fact that, well, I don't really have any guys to ask because I'm an only child, I don't have brothers.
Okay.
I thought about asking my dad one time, but I'm like, that might not end out very good.
No.
So I was like, all right, I'll just go read the Bible and see how those guys might think. And I'm like, oh, they act like that too. That's why I'm just like, are they all really like that?
No, of course not. No, there's guys out there who have a certain different value system. Now, most people are undeveloped and they don't know themselves and don't even know what they want. They operate purely from their ego. So from the perspective of that, when we say most people, yeah, there'll be a lot of people who think along those terms. Sure. But is this something that you want to stay in?
Yeah, I really like my relationship with him.
Okay.
I like that he's very truthful and honest. He makes me happy and everything. And yes, we're both Christians, and we both kind of do we like the traditional ways. Like, he's the whole provider, protector thing. Like, I'll take care of like the house, and I'll like nurture him and make sure that he's good to go like back to work, because he has a very physical job and everything. I just wonder, because he says that, if a guy was given an opportunity to have the woman that he loves and also have, an open-sided relationship with like side chicks every now and then, every single guy would take that. And I'm like, if that's true, it's true. I don't know, because I'm only listening to what he says, because I don't have any other guys I can ask.
Yeah, the nuance there is, like, you're a woman of faith, so you know that you can live for the flesh or for the spirit, right?
Yeah.
So you're describing a guy who would live for the flesh. From a flesh perspective, yeah, that's accurate. But we're not just the flesh, right? We also have the spirit. So if somebody is of the Christian faith, that's a no-no. If they're living their life according to those tenets, that's not something that they will do. I'm not saying they wouldn't do it, but they wouldn't justify it, if that makes sense. It would be more like I made a mistake. It wouldn't be like, oh, no, this is how I would actually want to orient my life. That goes against the Christian tenets. Doesn't work that way.
It does. And I do understand, like, obviously life gets in the way, but he's Catholic. We would go to the Catholic church like almost every Sunday. But of course, like, life got in the way and like jobs and stuff, so we haven't been as consistent with that. But I do understand the fact that social media definitely plays a role in people's minds. And then when you take a break from church, and then you go back to church, you notice a shift and everything, and like praying over your partner. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, all right, well, maybe that's just I've been lacking in that area, but I do understand that both partners want to be like, they have to actually work towards it. And that was just my question. I was wondering, like, the mind of a guy and if all of them act like that.
No, not at all. But I will say, I'm not telling you to leave your relationship, obviously. I would definitely go the prayer route. But you want to keep an eye on whether this grows or it declines. If this grows, you're going to have a problem. You're going to have a problem.
Okay.
Let's be honest with you. If he's already saying, like, look at what you said. He said that after you, I would get with someone. What does that suggest? That means there is an after you. That means that this is something that
Well, it
ends.
says that, well, honestly, I'm not going to lie, I do that too. But like I say, we joke a lot. I'll be like,
All right.
I'll just say, you know, after you, I'm going to do a couple of things just like a little bit different. I'll do this and that. And like, we just play around a little.
Okay.
But he also, like I said, I date to marry, and then I would make it, I'm like, hey, like, you know, he understands, like, I date to marry and everything. And I think the only reason he says that, like, if we ever got out of a relationship and he did and like he went with someone else, he probably wouldn't do the marriage thing, just because he also doesn't want the government involved in marriage, which I get. I never really cared about that either way. Like, when I think of marriage, I just think of, you know, God at the center, and it's like a spiritual thing. But he thinks of like the government and everything and stuff like that. So I really don't care. I just care about the church marriage. So I think that's where he goes along the lines of, if we ever did break up, he may not get another relationship, or he'll get in a relationship where he gets the option to have it be like one-sided openly, if I'm explaining that right.
All right. Well, I wish you the best. Definitely keep me posted. All right.
All right, bye.
All right. Bye. How long do y'all give it? Let's do the parlay real quick. Let's have a chat parlay. How long would y'all give it? I like downplayed how bad of a situation that is, but no, because the seed is already planted. So what she's experiencing is like it's sprouting, and if he keeps nurturing it, that doesn't go well. That does not go well. He says she's gonna stay for a poly. I don't think she'll stay for a poly dynamic. But this often will lead to like cheating or him just leaving. CJ, you gotta DM me that redacted portion. She'll probably stay if he cheats. I don't know. I don't have a good enough read on her. I didn't talk to her long enough. Seems like a sweet girl though, but that's not a good situation to be in. The guys follow this manosphere and red pill stuff, and it's difficult because some of it is good and healthy and rooted in true masculinity, but most of it is just bullshit. Men that say they don't want the government in their marriage don't want marriage but a situationship. Yeah, the marriage thing is tricky though. What a lot of guys witness is a lot of women leaving the marriage. Like we haven't always had no fault divorces. Once we implemented no fault divorces, people get divorced over all types of shit. So it is a risky bet. And I'm pro marriage, but it is a risky bet. People don't be wanting to stay with each other anymore and work through issues. So we don't want to diminish the fact that it's a risky bet, depending on the situation, right? Like if you're a man who's a high earner and you're getting married to a woman who's not. Now, if you flip that, the woman's a high earner and she's getting married to a man who's not, yeah, it's risky for her. So risky because women were stuck in abusive marriages. I'm not saying that that's not that there's any problem with it, but the unintended consequence was, or the unintended second order effect was, a lot of people will leave a relationship just because they want something different. That does happen. 100%. That's why a prenup is essential. See, I don't even know. I'm not super educated on this. I've heard this from a lawyer. Prenup ain't all you think it is. Prenup is not all you think it is. It's not like, oh, you have a prenup, you're fine now. There's more to go. There's more that goes into it. Not a prenup, you need to trust. I'm with you, Eva. I'm with you. But yeah, it's a lot of guys are resistant to that because of how. Now you'll see videos on social media where some women will say like they left their husband because they just outgrew one another. Nothing bad happened. They'll speak very like positively of him, but they just wanted something different. Guys hear that and they're like, fuck no. You know what I mean? So I get their point. Even me being pro-marriage, I'm built different. So I kind of, maybe I'm naive, but I feel like I kind of know a few things. People can change every 10 years though. Right. But if we're going to think about it like that, like if you just change and now you want something different, then let's not get married then. Because I look at marriage from a Christian frame. Where you're not supposed to just be doing that. You don't feel like people can grow apart. If they grew apart, there was a different issue that led to the growing apart. Maybe you just made the wrong decision on the person you chose. Maybe you just wanted to be married because you wanted to be married, right? There's a lot of issues there. But when you make the exit that easy, you remove the incentive for people to work on things. If you want to understand human nature, all you have to do is look at the incentive. People tend to do what is easiest. It's human nature. They tend to do what is easiest. It's easier to just divorce someone than it is to work through an issue, especially nowadays. Because we don't have the shame. Like we used to have, like the church would impose, like it would be a reinforcement mechanism to stay together. Family would be a reinforcement mechanism to stay together. The difficulty of getting a divorce would be a reinforcement mechanism to stick together. Yes, that would cause people who are in bad situations to be together too. So I want to be fair. That would cause people who probably were being abused to stay together out of the shame that they would feel not leaving. So it's very complicated because what it also did was make it harder to exit. So people who were in workable situations worked through them. But when you make it easy, now it's like, okay, well, I'm just going to leave then. I'm just going to leave. So now it's like, a lot of guys like, I don't know if I want that. She can just leave 5 years in for whatever reason. No, thank you. No, thank you. I'm all the way good. Because people go into it thinking it's going to be sunshine and rainbows. Yeah, if someone's cheating on you, definitely should leave. But that's biblical. That's like when they tell you to get divorced. Like, you getting cheated on? Get out of there. Women are giving all these examples as if they would never be the issue in their marriage. And I hate that too. It's the assumption that one gender is good, one gender is bad. That's terrible. Terrible, terrible, terrible. I don't think people should abandon themselves in a relationship that'll lead to resentment. I agree. You shouldn't. You shouldn't abandon yourself. It's just, I would imagine, I've not been married yet, but from what I've seen, it's very difficult. Very, very difficult. But people don't look at the purpose of it. They look at it as just a vehicle for their happiness. So whenever they feel unhappy, they take it as a sign to leave. That's not how that works. That's not how that works. But back to her situation though. if Buddy is already like considering like a poly type of dynamic, that ain't going nowhere. That's not going anywhere. So keep an eye on that. No more calls though. So if you have a question, you can drop it in the chat. If you're new here, make sure to follow. I go live twice a day. So I'll be live again tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern time. Also, if you want coaching, you can DM me the word coach, where you get clarity over your situation and a step-by-step action plan. So you'll know exactly what to do next. So you DM me the word coach. I'll send you a link to book your 1-hour coaching call. It's not cheap, so keep that in mind. I missed not having my show on yesterday. Yeah, I can't do Sundays, love. Can't do Sundays. So, but I do go on date Sundays though, Sabrina. So if you ever need that, we can find another way to get that value. Pro poly, pro marriage. Welcome to 2026. I'm not pro poly at all. At all. I think it's quite a goofy situation to be in. There are some people who are like naturally wired for that stuff, but most of them are just avoidant. If you even look at like YouTube and you type in poly advice, I saw somebody tweet this before and I did it. You type in poly advice, it's just a bunch of videos on how to not be jealous. And it's like, if that's such a big deal, if this is so big of a problem that all the YouTube videos about it are talking about jealousy, isn't that a sign you probably shouldn't be in the situation to begin with? I would think so. I would think so. People can dish it out but not take it when it's done to them. Have you ever seen a successful poly relationship? No. I've dated a few poly women in the past. They were like solo poly is what they called it. Oh, isn't that just single? And they gave me this long, over intellectualized explanation. I'm like, all right, this is goofy. This is just goofy. But no, but I also haven't met enough people who are in it. I've seen some unsuccessful ones though. I've seen some unsuccessful ones. I've seen people who started poly and then Buddy's wife left him for a woman that she was dating. I've seen that happen a number of times. A number of times. Before Danny has an aneurysm, he would like me to mention the Dallas trip. So August 14th through the 17th, we're going to Dallas. We got an Airbnb there. We got a few people from the chat and the mods who are staying with us. So if you want to pop out, we have the itinerary done, I believe. So if you think you're coming and you would like the itinerary, shoot me a DM and I'll send it to you. But yeah, so for those of you who are not staying in the Airbnb and you just want to pop out, just let me know. I'll send you the info. Or let Danny know. He'll send you the info. Doesn't matter. Where's the info? Just DM me, Raven. I'll let you know. Where are you at? Where are you located, Raven? Are you in Texas? What even is poly? Don't get me started. It's weird, man. Are you in Florida? Okay, you gonna come out? Why we gotta adjust the itinerary, Bobby? What you got? What you got going on? What you got going on? Looking forward to Dallas, man. I'm super excited. I don't know about the rest of y'all. I don't know about the rest of y'all. A lot of poly is just using another person to regulate. So, like one of the poly couples that I knew, they would use other people to regulate. So they wouldn't solve their actual problem with the person. They would avoid the issue in their relationship and just go distract themselves with another person. Terrible situation. Terrible. But, the funny thing is, a lot of people date in a poly way. We ain't always had rosters. We ain't always had, I'm talking to 8 different people. No, you're kind of dating in a poly fashion. You don't think you are because it's normalized in our society. But that's a poly way of dating. So you got one foot in already. I guess that's better than turning to drugs to avoid problems, right? That would be the worst. Some might argue that coochie is a drug. So maybe that's what they're doing. A lot of people are addicted to them yams. I'm booking a spot for myself after everything. Danny been working really hard on this trip, so y'all better appreciate it. Really, really, really hard. And he dropped mad bread on the Airbnb. So, cheers, Danny boy. How about people work on themselves to get more spiritual that you won't think about sex much? I beg to differ. I agree with the first point. Second one, though, thoughts are still there. Appreciate the wisdom. With no contact with my ex for days now. Life is lighter. My man. Good stuff. Good stuff. You gotta pretend like they died, man. That's the method. Yeah, you're still gonna have the feeling. You just have self-control. Exactly. But to our point, though, I do think there's probably a little bit of a reduction, especially from a Christian frame. You start holding every thought captive and replacing it with the word and then having intimacy with Christ. Yeah, it does reduce, but it doesn't go away. Doesn't go away. Molly, nice of you to show up after all the calls are done. You had some competition too. You had some throwing ass competition. There was another stripper I had to talk to. I wanted to bring both of y'all up. Like a Pokemon battle. Molly, use twerk. Riri, pole attack. Dun, 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 dun. Who would have won that, do you think? My money's on Molly. Riri's heart wasn't really in it. She was already trying to leave. Molly does it for the love of the game. There's commitment in them cheeks. All right, people, any last minute questions before I get out of here? We had Molly's coworker here earlier. No, Molly in Cali, right, Molly? Riri's in New York City. I still think she's going to just let Buddy take care of her and put everything in his name. And then she's going to come back like, I have no place to stay. Oh, it went bad. Everything went south, just as you said. GoFundMe in bio. Not a good situation. Molly, have you ever been propositioned like that? I am Cash, just for you, love. No, she came up here asking the question, Molly. She was considering it. There's a guy who lived in South America who she's seen 3 times since January. What's up, Kenny? She's seen him 3 times since January, and then he was trying to get her to quit her job, shaking ass, of course, and move out of her place with her roommates, and he was going to take care of her. But it had to be in his name. She was like, should I do it? I was going to phone a friend. I was going to call you, Molly. I thought you were busy. Have you ever been propositioned like that though? Is she new to this? It didn't sound like it. This might have been her first time being propositioned in this way though, because she said that she was getting tired of stripping, and she was looking at this as an opportunity to exit. I was like, I don't know about that one. I don't know about that one. Something like that, but they weren't trying to put shit in their name. Right. That's a control strategy. Trying to give her the Julia Roberts Pretty Woman treatment. I've never seen Pretty Woman. I know she's a prostitute, right? One of them toots. Got a tooting that ass up. This guy was a customer too, who propositioned her like that. It was fiving a Nora treatment actually. I saw half of a Nora. I never finished it. I was watching it illegally. Never finished it. Didn't really grab me. Yeah, that's how you end up answering to a pimp. I didn't even consider that. I don't know if that's how it would have played out, just because he's not in America. So I would think, with threat of violence, you would need to kind of be physically present. You know what I mean? She won an Oscar for that. That's why I was watching it, because I saw she won an Oscar for it. I tend to watch Oscar films. Trafficking. Now, definitely see that. Do you think all men have sexual thoughts regarding women they see in public? I can't tell you what all men. Some men are more disciplined than others. Some guys will avert their eyes. It just depends on the person. A Nora in the theater? You're trying to watch a Nora in Dallas? I'm with it. It would be so much better if Molly was there, though. Wouldn't it? Throw a Nora on, Molly in the room. And let her be the fact checker. This should be happening? All right, got to pause real quick. Molly, so how true is that? What would you do in this situation? I didn't watch Obsession because I don't do horror like that. I ain't trying to wake up and imagine some crying white woman in my room. I can't do horror, man. And you got them demons on you. The power of Christ compels you. I'm not with the horror at all. Unless it was Jordan Peele. I know it was a good movie. When I saw the previews for it, I was like, yeah, I know that's good. But It definitely gives you the white woman in the corner vibes. Now I've seen the clip, so I know she's in the corner like crying and shit like that. And when you replace him with a black man, as I would do in my mind, that increases the horror factor. The horror factor goes up a couple of notches. So it's a thriller to y'all. It's a horror to me. I'm with you, baby. I can only do horror movies at breakfast. Anything beyond that? Nope. Nope. All right. I got to run, people. Remember, if you're new here, make sure to follow. I'm going to be live again tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. So if I didn't get to your question today, I will get to it then. you want to watch the replay of these lives, I stream them on YouTube. Link in bio. It's at The Signal Dating on YouTube. You can watch any replays that you may have missed. Again, if you want coaching, DM me the word coach, and I will send you a link to book your 1-hour coaching call, all right? Appreciate the mods. Appreciate the chat. I will see you all tonight. Y'all take care.